For this month's spread, I knew that I wanted to have a green color palette. It is spring here, spring has finally sprung, and to embrace that Mother Nature, I wanted to have an all green monochromatic theme. So to start things off, I am just pulling out every green marker that I have. In the spirit of the theme, I have my green bracelet on. Markers are definitely my favorite tool to use in a bullet journal. I find that they're just really easy, nothing too fussy, and so my collection is quite big, but I have been collecting them for a while. So I've narrowed it down to 4 markers: a dark green, a kind of metallic green, a pale green, and a medium green. To begin, I'm using this Crayola marker in Green Machine, and it has kind of a metallic sheen to it. I've had these markers for a few years and they haven't dried out, so I would say that for the price, it's definitely a win. I'm also going in with the lightest Crayola Super Tip. For the word gratitude, I always enjoy doing a little bit of brush lettering, and so coming in with my Tombow in the shade 192. For the monthly favorites, I am going in with the darkest shade, which is a Crayola Super Tip, and then the other Crayola Super Tip for the other word. To separate the sections this month, I had attempted to do a hand-drawn border, but I didn't really like it, so I went over it with washi tape. Next comes the tedious part. My weekly layouts are always the same. The left-hand side is for the days of the week, and the right-hand side is for any notes or memories I want to capture, just anything that is relevant for that week. So if you wanted to copy this layout, each row, and there are 6, well, technically there are 7 rows, but going from the bottom, there are 6 rows of 5 boxes high, and then the bottom row is divided into 2, which I use for the weekend. The very top row, I believe, has 8 boxes, and that is to fit my mini calendar as well as the weekly title. Jumping into the first week, I start off by creating a mini calendar. I'm using the darkest Crayola Super Tip and just handwriting the numbers. I find at the beginning of the month when the numbers are the smallest, so 1 through 7, it is an opportunity to handwrite them without the page getting too busy. Once you get into the 20s, it can be quite a long handwritten word. I am using my finest fine liner to write out the days of the week. Keeping the design elements consistent, I am using the Tombow to make a border for my weekly header, and then writing out the week number, which is week 18. And then using a black pen for the week. When I use a lot of marker, I like to put a piece of tissue in between the pages so that it won't transfer to the opposite page. Coming in with the calendar again. I love the variety that I get to make with these mini calendars. They're just fun. I knew that I wanted to have at least one leaf theme, so here I am doodling a little leaf for the backdrop of my day of the week and the date. Not thinking too much about it, just creating a fun shape. I do like to shade in the week that I'm in, so I'm doing that real quick while I make up my mind on other things. When in doubt, I will write out the first 3 letters of the days of the week. I think it's just a nice visual, and it doesn't take up too much space usually. And then coming in with black again to write out the days of the week. As always, I like to keep my header consistent with the elements that I have in the week, so I am creating that same leaf shape but just much bigger for my header. And again, lots of markers, so I'm using a tissue to blot between pages, just to protect my paper. It's definitely not necessary, but I have noticed that it makes a difference. For my calendars, you'll notice that I actually align all of the little numbers. So instead of aiming for the numbers to be in the direct center of the box, I aim for them to be slightly to the right. I find that the spacing just looks better when I do it that way. This little tag is actually a cutout from some wrapping paper that I bought years ago, and this is kind of all that remains. I decided I liked the one without pink in it for this page, and honestly this spread turned out to be my favorite, and this little tag is just so cute and I want to use it on everything. I wish I had more of this paper left. As I'm going through this week, I'm realizing how much I really do appreciate to mix my mediums and to have lots of texture on the page through different scrapbooking elements. So I will go back later and add some stickers and a little bit more texture and layers. And I think it's something that overall I'm going to embrace as the year continues. I mean, I'm a maximal girl, what can I say? My spreads itself might be minimal in their layout, but in terms of decoration, I like to fill the space. So for this week, I'm just doing the letter of each day and then the number, and then I'm busting out my Posca pen and just going over the green numbers with this white pen just to add a little bit of pizzazz. And then some little glitter sparkles, which I then add, because look how cute they are. The spread just makes me really happy. Finally, breaking out my Dino label maker. I didn't trust any of my markers to write properly on this wrapping paper. It's pretty textured, so I decided to use the label maker to write week 20. Decided that this page could use some white lines as well. And then decided that it needed a little bit more green. After a little bit of indecision, I finally come in to do the mini calendar, deciding to embrace that darker green. And again, you can see that the numbers are slightly to the right, so they're not centered within the little boxes. Using my Posca pen again. and then decided that I needed to use some of that washi tape that I used in the beginning. So I am using it, just cutting haphazardly little rectangles to start off the days. And then just checking my sticker box to see what I've got in terms of sticker options that I think would work. I didn't have the right numbers for the green, but I did for this week, so I decided to add them to this one too, because why not? And then decided to embrace the gold, and I'm using gold numbers for this. I decided though to go in with the light Crayola Super Tip first, so that there was a little bit of layering happening. And then just adding a little weekend sticker because I could. With the darkest green, adding the days of the week by just adding the first letter. And now finally creating the week header. Using some block lettering. And then, because I can't help myself, I use my Dino label maker for the week, and then add a little bit of a sparkle with my Posca pen. And there we are, all finished. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I created my May bullet journal spread. Overall, I'm really pleased with how this month turned out. I'm always a fan of monochromatic looks that are still a little chaotic, a little busy, but with only one color hue to keep things a little reined in. This spread is still definitely my favorite. And I really like how this one turned out as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!